Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming, a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. Let's meet the team.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm the GM.
Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm playing Faramond Bahar, Human Paladin.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm playing Ansel, the Inquisitive Rogue.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm playing Ruach, the Air Genasi Shepherd.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm playing Reepsy Piven, the Satyr Druid.
Hi, I'm William. I'm playing Myastin Zarvax. I am a Dragonborn wizard.
We hope you enjoy our show.
Also, Ansel wrote down under the Cyclops transportation, bad at whispering.
I mean, it merits evaluation, sure.
Yeah, no, I'm making a pros and cons list. So yeah, we could. Yeah, we're not exactly the strike first kind of group.
No.
So I guess we just need to be prepared in some way for them to do something.
Yeah, well, everybody has been informed of this, so sleep facing an exit. Try and put your back to some kind of a wall or at least a solid surface, and be ready for the watch to wake you up.
All right.
For those of us that are on watch, we need to watch that group a little extra carefully.
All right. Well, I guess I will finish my watch up front here, and then tag out the next person.
Faramond is actually going to set up back here.
Back here, for those listening at home, is in the three walls that I mentioned last episode, where somebody had sort of tried to build something a long time ago. It's where they have Littlefoot stabled.
Yeah.
There's kind of a little three-walled attempt at a shelter. It's not great, but, it's a good place to park an animal and a wagon.
Ruach
So, yeah, you're in there.
I'm a
That's
security
totally fine.
expert.
Ruach lays back down in the cart, but I kind of side myself towards the building side of it, not the outside of it.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to revise that. Faramond's going to sleep underneath the cart. If there's
I'll
enough
still
space to roll out from under there quickly, great. If there's
Yeah.
not, it's sand. He'll just shape the sand a little bit so he can do that. And
Absolutely. Not a problem. Once everybody is settled, unless anyone else has anything special they're doing.
Nope.
Cool. Ansel, you're still on watch. You do see one of them slip away. Looks like going away from you all, sort of behind the camp.
So away from us, behind
And
their
away
camp?
from them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, behind their camp. Yes. Out into
All
the
right.
desert.
Ooh, that's suspicious. But Ansel, foolish as he may be, would also know that it would be a phenomenally bad idea for a human with no dark vision to try and go sneaking after them. So I'm just
in
going to make
fairness, I don't
note
think
of it.
Dragonborn have dark vision either. Maybe they do.
no, they don't.
You sure? Everything else
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, no, they get their breath weapon, a little bit of elemental resistance, and that's basically it.
Yeah, because I don't have it either.
Okay.
That was one of the reasons why I decided not to play one in your Saturday game.
Ben, do you have dark vision?
I have the spell.
Ooh. Okay, so outside of that, we have nothing. Interesting. Okay.
Fair enough.
It's the desert.
Well,
It's fine.
on the bright side, they don't have much either. So
Not nothing.
Yeah.
the
Well,
only member of your party that has dark vision is Littlefoot.
that's the important one.
That is the important one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ansel's gonna make note of it, and that's about all he's gonna do. Because wandering through the desert at night seems like a really bad idea. Yep. All right. And before my watch is over, do they return, or could I see them return, or?
Near the end of your watch, you see them slip back in. Give me a perception check.
Oh
You've got
boy.
a +5 to it. You've got a high perception score. This shouldn't be super impossible for you.
And you get a +5 because
You
you're
know what?
inside.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a 28. You know what? I'll allow it. You actually see he's got she has a small bag, and they actually drop a bit of it. Sort of near their camp. You get a pretty good look at it. It appears to be some sort of root that's fairly distinctive. Give me something unique about it.
All right. So a route that would be fairly distinctive, I think, would like where the route forks instead of being like, straight and craggly, it's gonna be bumpy, like there's like knots and balls all over it. But like so
Okay.
so it's kind of like a ginger root, but like instead of being flat and kind of have those tubers, it's going in like 3D.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
a
yeah,
bunch
yeah, I
of grapes,
gotcha.
but a root.
Right. They drop it, and then kind of duck into one of the tents. You can see a little glimmer of light actually coming out of the tent, and then come back out, look around, grab it, and go back in.
Interesting.
I am certain you have no idea what this is.
No, but I'm going to write down a description just so I can jot it down so I don't forget. And I seem to recall there's at least one person in our party who would know what that is.
Yeah.
Or should.
Let's hope so.
So now the question is, who comes to relieve me from night watch for their watch?
I will take the next watch.
How fortuitous.
Alrighty.
Okay, when he goes to relieve me, I will describe that route to him.
Ooh, excellent. Give me a nature check there, Reap.
Oh, that's a 4.
You know what this is? It's a root of a particular plant around here that has properties that are, shall we say, soporific. It will put people to sleep. Not permanently, not in a damaging way. The problem is that it's pretty strong. Even with, natural resistance, it can have some effect. The good news, though, is that you do know there is an antidote. The bad news is you don't have any on you.
Right.
So it's all right. That's interesting. So they have a root that can cause people to fall asleep. I don't see how they get that to make us ingest it. I assume aerosolize it, or unless they do something really awful like dump it in the oasis water.
Well,
I mean, would burning it and sending the smoke our way do it?
say if it was me,
Wait,
I'd
I'm
put it in the
asleep. I'm
fire
sorry.
and let it- yeah. If it was me, I'd put it in the fire and let it just smolder overnight.
I was just assuming it was a component for something.
Yeah, I was like, you'd think that, but that would also put them to sleep because you can't really control fire as far as like just putting fumes out in the air.
Well, assuming they haven't come near our fire tonight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's another piece of information. Good luck. And I'm going to. I don't have anything else I can do really with this other than we all kind of know. I feel like we definitely are missing something obvious, but I don't know what. So
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I actually wouldn't have a clue to where to begin with this.
All right. Well, yeah, I've imparted all the information I know and everything I can think of, but it's time for me to take my rest. And good luck. If something happens, give a shout. We'll all be ready to go. And yeah, instead of going into the tent, I'm gonna be kind of hiding in the kind of like shade and shadows of the tree where I can just kind of blend in really well.
Okay. Sounds good. Nothing at all happens on your watch, Reap.
Okay.
I'll take the next. Well, I'll wake up partway through his and then finish out after him, I guess.
Right. Well, good news. Nothing happens on yours either. In
Okay.
fact, nothing else will happen the rest of the night.
Interesting.
You all seem. You all wake up or see the sun rise, gritty, bleary-eyed, perhaps somewhat disconcerted, but it's as lovely a morning as there can be.
Does
fun.
somebody share this information with Pharamond when he gets up?
Yes.
Okay. they can do whatever they want to if they dose themselves with the antidote first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's also
Reasonable.
true. Yeah,
But they still didn't do anything. I mean, we're all up.
so far.
Reap,
Grant,
give me another,
are
Reap,
they-
give me another nature check.
Another nature check. This one has to be better than the first one.
Big money.
Yep.
No whammies. 20.
Very nice. You could probably find the antidote around here given a little time.
I have a suggestion to make it not seem suspicious that we aren't moving on. Somebody here have medicine and somebody else have deception.
Um,
I have performance
I
and
um,
persuasion.
I have a few ranks in deception.
Okay, I've got medicine. You may not even need to do this, but I was thinking we could bandage one of Littlefoot's back feet, and if somebody from their group asks us about it, we can say that our lizard stepped on something sharp and we're giving him a day or two to heal.
Uh,
I mean, I'm comfortable enough with Littlefoot to attempt doing that. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I've got animal handling and medicine both at a +5 bonus. Like
I've got
I'm
medicine
pretty,
at a 4. So yeah, I mean that'd be you then, I guess.
Yeah, I'm yeah. This is true. We do also have a spare axle. We could make a show of replacing that.
That's an option as well.
yeah, I mean I was thinking like something with well, but that would maybe then Tuber would want to help, and then he just picks it up and goes, "Hey, this isn't broken," and then we're made.
Yeah.
So let's stick with the Littlefoot idea, and we can have Reap
Okay.
slip away, or if worse comes to worse, then Reap gets back and we're all asleep, and he gets to have a 4-on-1 fight.
That'll be fine.
Well, here's
Perfect
the other
plan.
thing. Reap is probably also the nature and survival guy, right? Since he's a druid, so he'd probably also be the one who would forage for food. See if you can find a little extra. We'll offer to share it with him. That'll
Even better. I like that
indicate
idea.
that we might not be, suspicious of them. And
I like that idea primarily, is just to have Reap go out and gather supplies and forage, and then
Yeah, I can do that. And I can always find some good berries while I'm out there.
see.
But yeah, I like the idea of wrapping Littlefoot because I think that gives us an excuse to not go anywhere.
Well, if Reap is out getting getting food for us, we don't even have to bother with the Littlefoot thing.
Well, I'm afraid they'll expect us to go at some point.
yeah, that's
And if
kinda what I was
we're going to
thinking, too.
outweight them, then we need more to go off of.
All right, that's fine. We'll hedge our bets.
If we're going to stay here an uncomfortably too long time,
The other thing is, I'm thinking maybe we should send Ansel with Reap, just so that he's got a secondary person.
no solos is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Miaston or Bruak or Pheromon can go, or somebody, but
Whichever. I'll go with him.
I'm thinking Pheromon should stay back with the other people because he's got a saving throw bonus in his field around him that might be useful if they try putting us to sleep while the rest of the party is off foraging.
Yeah, I'm fine with going with Reap. That way you can just keep me busy.
Okay.
Actually, I also have a saving throw bonus I can do if I need to. So I think one
Yeah,
saving
but mine's
throw.
permanent and always on.
Well, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
just-
One saving throw bonus goes with Reap, the other stays with the party.
Oh, yeah, that seems like a good idea. So,
All right, that's fine.
So I'll go with him. Ansel stays with Fairmond and Miaston.
that also keeps the damage dealing and healing people kind of spread out too. So that's good.
That'll work.
Okay, so GM, we do that.
We do those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Um,
So Reap slips off. Meanwhile, Valdra actually is walking towards your camp as you Reap and who slips off?
Ruach.
Ruach?
Ruach.
Okay. Reap and Ruach, as you head out, Valdra is walking around the north edge, approaching. She's not armed.
Okay.
And I pass her on her way in?
It depends which direction you guys are going.
In which direction are we going?
Before I left camp, I would get behind the wall, and just so I'm put the wall between me and their camp, and I will cast locate plant or animals.
Ooh.
Shiny.
Which should be showing up
Yes.
in the chat. There we go. Awesome. So looking for the antidote route that we were thinking about.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's
See,
cool.
this is why I GMing trick here for everybody. Make your preparations as if the player characters have no abilities or spells, and then be pleasantly surprised when they drastically change what you expected to happen.
Nice.
Yeah, you have no problem finding it. It is a little ways off, a little further than you're maybe comfortable with, but you do find, or locate, I should say, a clump of this stuff. Although it seems, you know how, you kind of hear the voice of that particular plant speaking out.
Yeah.
It sounds a little distorted.
A little withered.
It might just be sort of distorted, really. Like there's interference around.
Okay. So we will head at a pretty decent clip in that direction.
Okay. 1 second.
Hi, Kitty.
Oh, it's the voice of
Podcast.
nature.
Yeah.
Nature
I
says,
need to evict my very old, unhappy sick.
Go on, kitty.
Goodbye, kitty.
Bye, kitty.
Boy, I hope mine's not trapped in the room with me.
That's the first kitty voice I've heard tonight.
I'm surprised a couple of ours were really squeaking up a storm before I recorded, but, well, a couple of. There are only two. But they both calmed
I
down
apologize.
since
She
then,
has a
so-
tendency to come to the microphone and yowl.
Who's going with me?
I am.
Okay. As we get over the bluff, just out of sight, do you want to go a little bit faster than walking?
Fine with me.
Because and I will shift into a giant goat.
I knew yes was the correct answer to that question. Yes
I am
is always the
delighted
correct
by
answer
this.
to this question.
And head off at a pretty decent run in the direction of the roots.
Excellent. we'll
with
come back to you in a moment. You all having cleverly split the party.
Perfect.
No. Yes. Valdra is approaching. Again, she's not armed and sort of waves as she approaches. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi!
She sort of leans back nonplussed as your sleep deprived eyes suddenly lean out around a tree trunk.
Oh, right.
Yes. You are breakfasting? No?
We should be soon. Our forager went off to find some for us.
This is fortunate. I had hoped that I could show you proper hospitality. It was, I apologize, too late last night and we were tired. And it is not right that those meeting on the road in the shade of an oasis should not share a meal together before continuing on. Would you care to join us for breakfast?
Sure. Give us a moment, though. We'll add a little bit to the fare here. Fairmont will rummage around and find some of our road provisions and pull out some of the more appetizing stuff for that. So
Ooh, I don't remember. Did we decide if we brought coffee or not?
we did.
Yes.
You give me an insight check real quick there, Ansel.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh yeah,
24.
that's real good. 24. Her eyes light up in genuine delight at the mention of coffee.
We'll get the coffee
We'll get some
on,
started.
and
I
we'll
will bring it over.
We'll come join you in just a few minutes here. Our
I
lizard
would be
stepped on
greatly
something
pleased. Our
sharp.
supply of unfortunate, a hazard of these difficult roads.
Rocks
tracks,
everywhere,
perhaps.
you know. Give me just a few minutes. I
Yes.
just gotta get his leg, and then we'll be good. So,
Of course, a fair exchange of fare, as it were.
indeed.
I look forward to it. And she winks at Ansel. Our supply of coffee ran out several days ago, and I have missed it.
Well, I will take extra care in making it.
I would be very grateful. I look forward to it.
I'm gonna
She returns.
walk over to Miaston and be like, "Well, I think we know when they're gonna try and slip us something."
Yeah, no, that's definitely yes. I could figure that part out. I better make the coffee really strong.
We never needed the
I'll allow
antidote
it.
in the first place. We just had the coffee.
The coffee is the
Antidote,
antidote.
espresso, same thing, right? It's fine. It's fine. All right, Reap and Ruach. You are booking it. You get there without any difficulty. You can find it. It is definitely not healthy, though. What you're looking for is a low shrub, and it's actually the bark of this particular shrub that is the antidote. But this is not ideal because it looks like other things have been chewing on the outer layer of bark, which is where this particular chemical is.
Yeah.
As with so many things, it's, something kind of designed to not taste great and drive off predators, or at least, predators of this particular plant, which, there's a lot of things out here. Between that and the sort of malaise that has afflicted everything around here, you're going to need to make a nature check to harvest a sufficient amount of this. Nature or survival or anything along those lines. Medicine, whatever feels best for you.
Can we both? Or just one check?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
allow both.
I roll survival.
I will assume that, you can show him, hey, you need to scrape it off this deep and no deeper, that sort of thing.
Right. Yep. So
Because I would like to assume, if that's okay with you, that Reap is also trying not to kill this plant in the process.
yes, this is
That's an
harvest,
11.
and there's a natural 20. Yay!
Natural 20. Okay, so Reap, you get enough for one person. Ruach, you get enough for two.
Okay. That's a not nothing. We'll work with that.
You've got 3 doses of antidote. So now the question is, who gets it?
Well, ideally, if
As you hurry back,
Yeah.
I assume. Unless,
I'll-
but again, I'm assuming a lot. Don't let me tell you what
Yeah.
you're doing or not.
yeah,
How out of curiosity, like how far would we have gone?
I mean, the spell's 5 miles. I'm going to say maybe 3/4 of a mile,
Okay.
15 minutes at most.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I would not-
Probably no more than 10. I'm going to say 10 minutes because time is really the deciding factor here, I suspect, not so much
distance. Yeah.
distance. But
So,
harvesting it carefully takes a bit of time as well.
It's about 10 minutes on the goat.
10 minutes on the goat, which
10
is faster than on
minutes by
foot.
goat. Sure. No, absolutely.
At the risk of
Yeah.
just because I know time is the essence here, I will shift into the goat again, and head back.
Okay.
Yep. Onward, yon goat. And I guess we'll figure out who gets what
Awesome.
when we get there.
Yeah. Right. Now, okay. So, is this a brew thing or like a chew thing?
It's kind of a chew fortunately. There's not a whole lot of preparation that needs to be done.
Okay. I would, before we headed back, Rook, do you think it would be best if we get back in the middle of something? Should I have an antidote just so I can heal up people and
Agreed.
do all the? Okay, so then as we're running, I will just have the goat will be chewing on some of this, like one potion, one dose of this antidote.
You're immune to whatever else is going on here.
Yeah.
Just narratively, you're good. All right. If I say make a roll against this, this poison or whatever, don't bother. You're set.
And you are all set. And then we're all set running at full speed back. And I'm going to drop goat before we get in sight of camp. There are like bluffs and hill and dunes right over, right?
Yeah. There's.
I don't want to come.
There's dunes and rocks around.
We come rolling in.
Not a problem.
Mid goat charge, and I just fly off as he transforms backwards. Oh, right. That's gonna be new. Okay.
Sorry. I'm gonna apologize for this one, but goat riding the whip.
Yep.
Ooh. I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I just got it.
Sailed right over my head, so
I actually got it early, and I'm proud of myself for that, or maybe concerned. I'm not sure which.
Sorry.
How old
It just
is that song?
suddenly appeared, and it had to be said. It's old.
I greatly approve.
So you are set, and Pheromond, Ansel, Miaston, you're cooking breakfast. You can actually smell something else actually smelling really good coming from the other side. It's the other side of the oasis.
Oh, well, at least it smells good, I suppose.
yeah. Pheromond is going to make a frustrated noise and go back to the wagon and rummage for longer than he has to for extra bandages, generally stalling. I threw a couple other suggestions into, like, don't stoke the fire as hot as it needs to be to boil stuff as fast as possible. Take extra water. That'll also stretch out the boiling time for the coffee.
Yeah. So I can just kind of be working on the coffee and keep an eye out in the direction that the other two will be coming back from. Because honestly, if they're coming back with the antidote, I'm going to feel much better about proceeding with this.
Is there something that I can do with animal handling? And I want to be very clear about this. I don't want to do anything that actually hurts Littlefoot, but I would like to get him to kick at me so I can, make a show of having to deal with an unruly lizard.
Sorry, did you say you wanted the large, angry, stubborn lizard that's 10 feet long and has muscles about as thick as a tree trunk on its legs to be mad at you and kick at you? Because I can make this happen.
No, I want him to more shake one of his legs in kind of a kicky looking way, but not actually make him angry.
Irritating the grumpy lizard in the morning is not a problem.
Okay. All right. I will gently get him to do some kind of annoyed stuff. I mean, probably trying to wrap his foot when it's not injured is probably enough, but
realistically, that may be all it takes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point is, this little crude structure loses a couple of bricks, and you make an adequate show of having a grumpy lizard with a hurt foot.
In fact, actually, at one point when the structure loses a brick, just as an additional bit of theater and stalling tactic, Pheromond will pick the brick up, shout seriously at Littlefoot, and chuck the brick into the oasis.
Splash.
And then go back to wrestling with Littlefoot's back foot.
Excellent. You may wrestle the lizard as long as you desire.
Okay.
Eventually, everybody gets back together.
Okay.
Ruach, you've got 2 more doses.
Not Ruach is my only response to that.
All things considered, I think I will have my own plan for skipping the dose. So you don't have to give me any. Faramond definitely should, because I've seen his damage output.
Agreed.
Okay, I'll
I
take a dose.
I think Faramond and Miaston.
Yeah, I think that's good. It would be
Because
good to have
his damage output should be similar to Faramond's.
Yeah, I mean, really. Oh, does Miaston know counterspell? That would be sick if.
I think he's I think that's
okay.
Like next section up.
Yeah, because if like Ascara started to do something, you just go boop, and then it's done.
No, counterspell is
like
third level. He would have had that since level
is it only
5
third?
if that was one of the ones that he picked.
Yeah. So, Miaston, Ansel, and Faramond, you guys are all cooking breakfast. Faramond has been making a big show of Littlefoot. Miaston, are you doing anything in particular here?
Sure,
Cooking breakfast
I'm
can be a
providing the
perfectly-
fire for the breakfast.
Actually, that's valid.
Yep. Yeah, I think Ansel's not so much deliberately making this preparation difficult. It's just Ansel trying to do a thing that's outdoors.
Right. Okay. I will assume that you get a breakfast cooked. You get something to share, and preparations are made. Who is chewing on this rather bitter antidote beforehand?
All right.
Just so I'm super clear on this.
I believe Ben, William, and Peter was the plan.
So yes, Reap, Miaston, and Faramond.
Correct.
All right. I'm marking your tokens just so I remember.
All right. Faramond will,
guys are-
once he's done, once Reap and Ruach gets back, kind of finish up and, walk very, actually sweaty over to the oasis and, wash his face.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, stupid lizard.
Don't take the water.
He's gonna turn around and look back at Littlefoot and be like, I love you, you big lug, but that was way harder than it needed to be. And then just walk back over to the fire. Is the coffee ready yet? I could really use some.
Ruach walks over to Littlefoot, rubs him on the who's a good boy? Who's the best? Who's the we love you? Who's a
Who
good
has
giant
the
My
foot
lizard?
tail
resting gauze
thumps
that
and
he
more
doesn't
bricks
need?
fall.
Cool. That's a lesson we've learned for the future. Okay. That might be usable at some point. Ansel, write that
All right.
down.
Yep. Fun fact, I looked up giant lizard stats, and if you actually look, Littlefoot does have a character sheet now.
Ooh.
He also very definitely has the ability, basically, he can't die. He's too cute.
Perfect.
So nobody worry about that.
Plot
Adorable
armor.
pet NPC.
Adorable head.
Yep.
Good.
I like that that's an actual on the character sheet ability. That is lovely.
Listen,
and the thing,
it's how I amuse myself.
his name is actually Littlefoot. This is great. I love
Yeah.
this. This is going on Twitter later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy to put it into an actual thing. But yeah, there's a bunch of little things because I just grabbed the giant lizard stats to start with, but there's a bunch of little things I wanted to do to turn Littlefoot into his own monster that people can borrow for their own games. So I'll get it to you at some point. Remind me, Ryan. I'll give you
Sweet.
a stat sheet you can tweet out or something.
I'm here for it.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah. And listeners, if Ryan doesn't, you poke him on Twitter
Yes.
and you make him remind me
Also
at
that.
STG cat at STG Grant on Twitter. You have all of you poke me and say, "Hey, give us that character sheet."
We would like
All right.
the character sheet, please. Yes.
We'll make it happen. Okay, you all finish up with breakfast and head over. I assume they kind of meet you, kind of part way, which is Fairmont. Actually, kind of something you're familiar with. This is just sort of a little bit of desert hospitality of, hey, we want to keep our privacy at our camp. You want to keep yours. So let's just kind of meet in the middle, literally.
So up
Right.
here. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of on the north side of things. And it also has the ability of, conveniently the way that the Oasis plants are, you can take advantage of some of the shade here and have access to the water. It's just kind of nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it should be pointed out that whoever is cooking, they cooked something delicious. There's a bit of what looks like goat that has been cooking for a while. There are a few goats out here. They're hardy creatures, but it's been roasting for a bit, and a fair number of desert vegetables with what looks like maybe some sort of sauce on it. It actually is pretty tasty. It's not exactly nomad food, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
All right.
There's a few other things around. Yeah, sure, are they probably trying to poison you? Yeah, but they're going to make it delicious.
And you know what? That's not nothing.
That is, in fact, not nothing.
Okay, so I suppose we have there's probably some sort of hospitality exchange where we
kinda, yeah. It's pretty informal. It's more just hey, we're here together. What have you got? What have you got? I mean, it's a potluck.
Is there a more formal version that would be kind of peculiar to Pheromon's people?
Yeah, there probably is. I'll let you.
Great. He'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, they recognize it. You can tell that they have seen this before. Actually, give me an insight check. This is purely just for curiosity.
Before anyone eats, also.
18?
Valdra and the blue Dragonborn and Tubor have seen it. The green one doesn't seem to have and is watching with great interest. You can kind of tell that the other three have seen this before. They don't exactly know how it goes, but they at least recognize what you're doing and they're doing their best.
You want some details?
If you're willing to come up with them on the spot, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so Pheromond takes some of the food from his campfire and serves it up, takes the platter and cuts 3 equal-sized, pretty generous pieces off of it, and then separates each of those in half and passes by hand onto the plate of each of the others over there, and then kind of looks at Tubor and takes a much larger piece and gives him. So it's you're cutting the bits and then dividing kind of it's like a symbolic showing of you can have half of what I have kind of a thing. So
yep. He's happily eating.
Okay.
He likes it. It's hard to cook for someone his size perhaps, but he appreciates the gesture.
Before everyone starts eating, would you mind if we took a small moment and gave thanks for this food and the meeting that we had?
Yes, that seems very appropriate.
Pause and then acknowledge the idea.
Reeb kind of puts himself with pretty close to where the food's at and begins a short prayer to the Creator. Thank you for this bounty before us and these traveling companions that we have, and may this bless our day and our journeys down the road. And while he is praying that, he will cast Purify Food and Drink.
Oh, excellent.
Oh,
are you being
nice.
subtle about this?
Yes. It's kind of blended into the prayer.
Give me a stealth check.
That's the thing.
Wouldn't this be more like deception or performance?
I would allow either of those. Yeah, you're right. It's probably more deception or performance. I'd allow either of those.
Oh, man.
Anything along these lines.
I have a 6 bonus, and I rolled 8 total.
You sure did. The good news is not everyone's going to see it. Because not everyone is especially perceptive here. If nothing else, Tubor's only got one eye, poor guy. So
Pheromond is definitely going to notice. But he's on your side, so that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Askara and Seka which are the green and blue Dragonborn, respectively. They've introduced themselves at some point along the way here. They notice there's a sort of pause, and then they sort of look at each other and then continue on.
Tell me you cast it on our stuff too. At least tell me that.
It was like the whole pile of food when I was
Okay.
much food was together.
Yeah. It's a 5-foot radius sphere centered on a point there. I mean, it's 10 feet
Yeah.
across. That's a lot of food.
It's kind of like praying over the potluck table.
Yeah.
Right.
It's roughly
Um,
enough to actually
and-
feed Tubor.
Ascara actually will pipe up once you're done. You seem to be a careful man.
Living out among the nature and the plants and the things as I do, it's just a habit I've gotten into to take every day and make sure that nothing has gone astray with the nature, especially with the nature that is being affected out here in the world right now. You never know what small twists to the natural elements of things, and it's better always to be safe than end up with a belly full of something that will kill you that the day before would have been healthy.
If this is reasonable, you are perhaps to be commended. She sort of gives a shy, questioning glance towards you.
Well, thank you. It's the least I can do to make sure that we are all safe. You and us.
I appreciate your care for me and my sisters, and Tubor, of course.
And then I start eating.
Yeah. Same.
Food time.
Pass them more of like, whatever we have if it looks like they're enjoying it, and like generally be like friendly and pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right. Would I? Man, this is quite a question. Would I know if purify food and drink works on naturally occurring poisons?
Huh.
Oh, it is free of poison and disease. It says that on the thing.
Yes. Yep. So
Okay.
it's poison.
Give me just a straight intelligence check.
Oh boy. All right.
The DC on this is not going to be super hard.
All right. That's a saving throw is not the same thing.
That's fine. I mean, I'll allow it just as a save. Yes, you would, and you would also recognize this spell.
Okay.
You understand generally what he's doing.
Okay. So I don't have to do something
You
risky and
spotted
stupid.
it. No, I don't think you
Also,
do.
Ben,
I
that
mean,
was really clever.
Mhm. Mhm.
It needs to be said. Just
was
on
dope.
the metagame level. That was really
yeah, Ansel
clever.
it was. And Ansel is a smart enough person to know what's going on here.
Yeah, and that would
You've been around. You've seen stuff.
that would have worked. All right, good. So I don't have to off topic. What I was going to do is kind of use the rock as a table, and when I'm picking up the food, I was just gonna like palm it and then just lap it, just like drop it right at my feet instead of actually eat it. But I don't have to do that
There
now.
you go.
I'm just going to eat it as normal.
I was considering something similar
Excellent.
using the staff. Yeah.
Once I chewed the antidote, I was going to make direct eye contact and just eat a whole bunch of food. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could certainly still do that.
Just covering one of our bases here.
Yeah.
Pharamond is satisfied that things are safe for now. He will just be polite and pleasant and try and make small talk and He works very much on a threat, no threat kind of level. So
Yeah. In between food, Reap will kind of eat quickly and then sit off to the side and strum a little breakfast music also.
I've suddenly just started thinking about the breakfast song by the Newsboys. So thanks for drumming that up from like 2002.
And that is correct chord.
All right, since I'm sitting like right by the Oasis.
what was that?
I just said, an older tune. Tupor's appreciating the music.
All right, and since I'm having to be sitting like by the shore of the Oasis, I'm going to eat very carefully and then just like dip my hands in the water and make sure they're washed off and clean up.
Mm-hmm. Sure, sounds good. The food is genuinely good, both yours and theirs. It's a somewhat quiet meal. Valdra and Tubor are making conversation. Ascara and Seka less so. They are kind of looking around with, which you can probably, it'd be hard to tell if you didn't know what was going on, but they're looking worried. Valdra seems confident and maybe a little bit smug.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
Good. All right. Well, I've guess
Okay.
I'm done eating. So Valdra, how was the coffee?
It was marvelous. Again, it had been a few days, but I must find your supplier. It was roasted excellently, and if I may say so, the proportions were excellent. Plus, was that a hint of cardamom?
I'm afraid the any spices that were added to it is part of a proprietary mix. But I managed to stock up on it before I made my trip out to the desert. I was keep a nice supply of some good coffee.
You would not be willing to sell me any before you depart, would you?
Ooh, sell, you say? Yeah, and we can just out of character negotiate a price for a couple pounds of coffee.
I mean, she's paying you good money for it. You get a couple of gold, I don't know, 5-10 gold, something like that.
All right. Sounds good.
It's expensive out here.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know, five gold maybe, 10 gold's probably too much, but whatever's appropriate for a couple pounds of well-roasted artisanal coffee that is also in somewhat scarce supply.
Yep, well, supply and demand.
She's very satisfied and clearly considers this entire morning to be a victory.
Wonderful. I can't wait for the other shoe to drop.
As you finish up breakfast and all stand up and leave, you kind of start to see the other shoe drop as she begins to sort of stare suspiciously at you and shoot a couple questioning glances at Ascara. Miastin, can you make me an Arcana check for me?
Sure. 10 total.
A 10? 10's good enough. You recognize, now that you have had a chance to study Ascara up close, you recognize this is not so much a wizardy sort of spellcaster as it is an alchemist. This is maybe an artificer, something along those lines. Somebody who is mixing things up and making concoctions and contraptions much more than studying arcane secrets in the same way that the Magi of Thassarum might. It's maybe a little bit of a lower tier of caster than you are in a way, but nonetheless effective.
Interesting.
An engineer as opposed to a pure mathematician. But Valdra is definitely shooting some, at first puzzled, and then you see them to start to get sort of heated glances at Ascara.
I'm going to I'm going to sit right here and wash our cooking utensils so I can use my keen senses to listen in on whatever conversation might transpire over there without arousing too much suspicion.
Okay.
I love this kind of bizarre limited Cold War we've got going with these people in this Oasis.
It's great. I love it.
Did you do the thing? Yeah, I did the thing. Why is the thing not working? I don't know.
That is largely the conversation you hear. What is happening? They should be asleep. I don't know, Valdra. They should be asleep, and yet they are not. I think I saw the horned one, the satyr. I think I saw him casting a spell during the blessing. But I am not sure. I think I saw it. Seneca nods. I saw it too. He did something.
That was a really good call, Ben.
Yay.
That was so clever.
I have not seen this in other rituals. Did they suspect us? Seka, surely you were not seen last night? I don't think I was, but who can say? Fine.
Can't say.
I will speak with Tubor. We may have to. I will speak with Tubor. We may have to be more direct. I will overrule him on this if I must, and answer to the Jarl for it. Come. And they all sort of stalk back to camp.
As they leave, bye. You guys have a good rest of your day. Bye,
Ascaro. Tubor gives you an honest, friendly wave. Ascara, a somewhat tentative one. She looks a little frightened as much as anything else. Seka and Valdra just look angry.
As we walk off, I give Reap a solid fist bump.
Breakfast was delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Call something, to that effect back to, and
This is
Right.
actually, if you guys are okay with it, I feel like this is probably a good place to stop.
I was just about to suggest that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I figure we foiled them. We did the thing in a James Bond movie where he like casually outwits them, but he's not completely out of danger. But
Yeah.
they don't just like
Yeah.
They don't just
they're
go
at
full
the-
bore.
yeah. But they're at the point where anyone would sense is like, why don't you just shoot him? But no one ever does.
Right, and he doesn't just show up and shoot them himself. It's all very polite.
Right, of course.
I have discovered
As you should.
recently the absolute tomfoolery that can happen with spellcasting. And
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
it's nonsense.
I love with spellcasters now.
I like doing
That was
doing
so
that,
good.
that blessing and then casting purify food and drink over the meal is just like,
Beautiful.
I know I keep saying this, but that is one of the cleverest things I have seen in quite some time. And I have been in multiple role-playing campaigns for the last. It is perfect. It's like totally fitting with the content. It solved the problem. It's completely in character. It was like everything all at once. That was great.
We didn't punch
Yeah.
anyone yet. Like it's basically exactly how things should work in this group.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
Through that long rest scenario, I was just poring over the druid spell list. And I'm like, what? That's combat. I can get that one. I'll take that one for combat. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Mwahaha. Mwahaha.
Yep.
So
All right.
I don't know how you normally run these, Grant, but I would like to vote that Ben gets an inspiration.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I don't use inspiration because I forget about it all the time. But yes,
Same.
absolutely. Have yourself an inspiration.
Well, the way I've been rolling tonight, I could probably use it.
That was 2 twos. That's a
Yeah.
thing.
And I don't make these last like till the end of the session or anything. Just keep it, hang on to it, because I'm gonna forget about it. I'm not gonna give them out enough that it's worth
Right.
messing with. Spend it whenever. It's cool.
Yeah, that was like a solid, 14 of 10, do
Mhm.
recommend
Good.
kind of
Yeah.
moment there.
Lots of fun.
Hi, welcome to our actual play podcast. No, but for real, we are a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, mostly that, Actual Play Podcast. And yeah, if you are listening to us, you have found us on a podcast provider, leave us a rating and review. We would really appreciate it. While you're in that podcast provider, go leave Saving the Game, a rating and also a review in your podcast app of choice. And come say hi to us on Twitter at City on a Hill Game, cityonaHillGaming.com, cityonaHillGaming@gmail.com if you feel like going that route with it. Come say hi. Tell us how much you also love Littlefoot. Because boy was Twitter happy with that one. So we're gonna roll with it. And yeah.
Yep.
And where can they find Peter, Grant, and also Jenny?
So Grant and I and our third co-host, who is not in this campaign but was in the last one, Jenny, are the hosts of the Saving the Game podcast. We do. It's also another. It's an explicitly Christian RPG podcast, but we don't do actual play like this. We do analysis. So if you've listened to something like Fear the Boot or Narrative Control or Sons of Kryos back when those were running, or that sort of thing, we're closer to that end of things. We talk about applied theology as it can be put into games, hand out gaming ideas. Occasionally, we creatively brainstorm stuff. We did a series on kind of the D&D alignments that just wrapped up recently. So we do a lot of kind of like RPG discussion topics. And you can find all of our stuff at stgcast.org or savingthegamepodcast.org if you really like typing long things. We're also on Facebook and Twitter at Saving the Game. And we're on just about all of the major podcast providers at this point. We are even on Spotify, I believe. So come find us if you're interested in hearing more from Grant and me, and also Jenny. And did I forget anything? Oh, our Discord. I should mention that. Just about everybody in this actual play is in our Discord over at Saving the Game. You can find the link to that pinned on our Twitter or on our website.
Yep. It's a great place to chat, to talk with us, to talk with a lot of the players here, and really meet a really good community of people. It's awesome.
Yeah, very nice crowd. Warm, friendly, smart, funny. So.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, thank you guys. And we appreciate you guys listening. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonthe-hillgaming.com, email us at cityonthe-hillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonthe-hillgame. For more information on Saving the Game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Christina, Andrew, Joanne, Tony, and Ashley. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.